I'm not doing anything to Abure. I have said it time and time. Abure worked very well with me. And as far as I'm concerned, he's still my friend. But I tell friends the truth. So I don't have any problem with Abure. Supreme Court has said, you are no longer chairman. And the man is saying he is still the chairman. Otti is not decamping. And my party is not on shaky ground.
Why?
I've told you this.
The arguments of other politicians. So they say lone man. You can't be. You want to be close to the center.
Don't worry. I'm being close to the center. I'm even closer to the center than some of them.
But you're not in APC. You can't be as closer than
everybody must not be in APC. This is democracy. And President Bola Ahmed Tinubu held on to his AD, AC, ACN before becoming APC. If he was, then he wouldn't be president today. Sometimes you have to also stand for something.
Will you ever leave Labour?
I am not God. So,
well, so
I cannot say if there's no Labour tomorrow. So you have already predicted them for the
so
party.
You might leave. That's what I said.
I was elsewhere before.
You know because some people swore that they were never going to leave Abga, but they left Abga.
Who did?
I mean, people move around political parties as well.
Yeah, of course.
So are you going to say you are never going to leave?
Let me tell you. I was in PDP.
Okay.
And then from PDP, I went to Abga.
So you've been moving around
from
a lot.
From Abga, I went to APC. I've been in APC.
So you've moved around a lot.
So that means you might that's not the issue.
You might just continue in that line.
That is not the issue.
You might go back home.
That is not the issue. The issue is that the party that brought me to power is Labour. Okay? And today we have fought and retrieved Labour. So, and I said I will send you the Supreme Court judgment. So when you finish reading it, you will know that Abure is just masturbating.
Really?
Yes, it's not. He's out. There is. So you can declare yourself. You can declare yourself the president of Nigeria today. You can. Does that mean Rufai is now the president?
No, but that means his masturbations are of epic proportion because his masturbations are causing gyrations in the Labour Party as we speak.
Okay, you need to mind your language now.
No, it's because everybody looks at it that all is not well.
You see what?
And they are also, they are also pointing at opposition dismembering political parties like it's happening with the APC, with the PDP now, and they're also looking like as the Labour Party. So that's why you can call it masturbations, but these gyrations are getting into the fabric of the foundation of the party, and a lot of people are arguing that would there even be Labour Party in 2027?
Okay, so they are not God. You are just your human intelligence and analysis.
Just like I'm not God to know if you are still going to leave Labour Party at some point.
Exactly. And I'm not God to also say that I will remain in Labour Party or leave Labour Party. Okay. But as we speak, the objective conditions today do not make it for me to leave Labour Party. There is... tomorrow, anything can change, and I've told you.
Okay.
And I'm very pragmatic, and I look at things, and of course, if I'm going to take any decision, that decision is going to be taken in full consultation with Abia people. Those are the people who are...
Oh, that's the word you politicians say. You always say you do it.
No. You see,
your decision.
I told you I wasn't a politician. Maybe you are the one that are politician now. We are not politicking. No, we must, because the truth about it is that it's Abia people, through God, that brought me here. So there's nobody is more important than Abia people and God. So, and wherever God wants me to be, but it must be a right move. So it will not be by blackmail. And I always find it difficult to discuss people, because when you are not in their condition, you are not in their situation. So there are things they may know that you do not know. But as we speak today, we have retrieved the Labour Party. The National Caretaker Committee is in charge now, and they will organize congresses, ward, local government, like I told you, all the way to national convention, so that we get leadership.
When are those congresses going to happen?
Before the end of the year. They already have a timetable.
Okay.
That my predecessor commissioned an uncompleted building on the 28th of May.
Uncompleted building?
Uncompleted building on the 28th of May. I would also like you to see it. My people will take you to it. So, and it is supposed to be new government house. So what did he do? He completed the ground floor, finished it very well, put Italian furniture. I don't like to talk about it, but since you asked,
no, yes.
Put Italian furniture in the place, painted it, and commissioned it. Okay, so the bedroom. So after the inauguration, I went there. When I looked at the ground floor, I was very happy. But as I went to the first and second floor, they were not even plastered. No sanitary fittings, nothing. So that's fraud.
Really?
Yeah. And I would like you, I've not put one dime.
No, are you going to probe your predecessor for that?
You have only 4 years. And when you get into some of these distractive things, you lose focus. I have too much work to do. Probing him is, of course, we called in KPMG at some point, and I'm sure you must have seen that, where they looked at one of the accounts, and they found that some 10 billion naira was drawn for a non-existent airport. So that's the only one that we are saying, bring back our money or give us the airport.
But he says he's fixed the airport, that the airport is, that things are working with the airport.
Yeah, it's Audio Airport.
Audio Airport.
We've just flagged off the construction of the Abia airport. That's better. Probing is a waste of my time. A lot of times we don't celebrate people. And I've had time to actually say good things about her. I didn't know her from Adam. Never met her. And when she was selected for that role, that was just like 48, 72 hours before the election. So I was a bit scared because when she was appointed Vice Chancellor of Federal University of Technology, Owerri, I tried to reach out to her because she bears the same surname. She's Otti, Professor Nnennaya Otti. So, and I guess that was 2021. So I got her number, tried to call her, she didn't respond. I sent a text message congratulating her, she didn't also respond. So I just said, okay. I left her. And 2 years later, she was now going to be the returning officer. But then, most importantly, I left everything in the hands of God. And then the election came. If you recall, I've been in this process since 2015. And a particular local government was always used to falsify the results of the election. And that's Obingwa. Again, in 2019, it happened. So 2023, the election, it was clear that I was going to win the election again. And as the results kept trickling in from the different local governments, the tally was increasing. I mean, the difference was increasing. And what they did at that time was just wait. So at some point when they thought enough local governments had come in, they falsified the result, moved it to 80,000 from there to 90,000. It ended at 108,000. But then this woman rejected those falsified results and said she was going to stick to the results that came from the polling units. And the rest now is history. So we cannot tell the story of the changes that have happened in Abia State, the new Abia, as we call it, without a reference to Professor Nnennaya Otti. We thank God for her. So I strongly believe that the hand of God was in the whole process. It was God that brought her. So my tribute to her. The opposition will find something to say. Even if God was to come down to govern the state, the opposition will have something to say. So I think the they are busy looking for things to say. All the issues you've mentioned are non-issues to Abia people. Geometric, of course, I told the story of geometric. And I encountered geometric in my banking days when Professor Barton Naji came to me, a bit frustrated. And this was several years ago. I was executive director in First Bank. I believe that was 2009, 2010. Yeah. Just before I left First Bank. And I packaged a facility to help him rescue the geometric project, because the bank, coincidentally, that was funding the project at that time, stopped because of the global economic crisis. And that bank was Diamond Bank, where I had to go 1 year after. And they packaged, if I recall, about $80 million facility. Got the approval, but he couldn't draw because the bank at that time felt that the person that understood the project was leaving, and that was me. And as I left, he came back to me in Diamond Bank. And we sat down and provided all the facilities that he required to complete the project. In fact, we completed the project before I left the bank in 2014. That's one problem after another. I believe that the way God wanted it. I would like you to go to Port Harcourt Road after this interview. Talk to people. That road had been abandoned for over 30 years. Nobody could fix it, except Julius Berger. And everybody knows. So if you go to Abia and make this allegation, you probably not come back. I'm
a journalist. I just asked the question.
No. So what it is that it's not 5.8 kilometers. It's a dual carriageway. It is something else, and I would like you to just go there. So the allegation of the so-called opposition, because they couldn't fix it. So somebody has come to fix it. And every other person is very happy. And Julius Berger is handing over the project to me next week. And
How much did the project cost?
It has gone beyond the 30 billion. So it's actually somewhere about 36.5 billion now. Yeah, that's what it is.
And it's good use of money.
Absolutely. It's one of the most important parts of the Southeast, not just Abia. Okay, so virtually everything is made on Port Harcourt Road. It's a very long stretch of road. Right. I would like you to see.
No, I saw part of it while we were, coming here.
No, you've not gone to Abia.
No, I'm not going to Abia.
Port Harcourt Road is inside Abia, not Abia Port Harcourt Road.
Okay.
There's a Port Harcourt Road in Abia.
Okay.
That takes you from inside town all the way to the expressway.
Okay.
Okay, so, and everybody is happy. Even the opposition is happy. The airport is not mine. It's a federal government project.
Okay.
Okay.
Who's funding the federal government?
Federal government. Okay, so let me explain how it happened.
Yeah.
So the federal government came up to say it wanted to build a few airports, I think 4 or 5. And Abia was one of them. Okay, and it was not going to be an airport, it was an airstrip that they planned. So and I went and met the president. And I said, Mr. President, the difference between an airport and an airstrip is the wrong way. So if you are going to do an airstrip in Abia, can I partner with you and make it a full-fledged airport? And he said, oh, there's no problem with that. I should go and meet the Honorable Minister for Aviation, Festus Keyamo. And I went and met him, and he didn't have a problem with that. So, and we sat down. You bring your own money. We bring our counterpart funding.
How much are you putting into it?
I'm not sure yet. But our contribution is now the wrong way.
How much is the federal government putting into this?
Not sure yet, too. Work is still going on.
So it's still in the ideation stage of the project?
No, we have flagged off, but then a lot of work is still going on.
But the money you will put into it, where is it going to come from? You have to borrow. Because the state does not have this, the financial
you just sit down.
I know you are in the private sector.
Yeah, not just in the private sector.
Yeah, you know how to raise capital.
You know, you are going into my territory. Just leave that area for me. It's my trade secret, money.
I know. Yeah. I know that you raise money.
Yeah,
you know, safe to call you Ezego in banking. The king of raising money in banking.
Yeah.
But it's going to put back a deadline on the states.
Don't worry about that.
And that's what we're scared of, because most states are
you know,
not
Rufai, let me tell you something. I just saw the numbers from DMO that in 2023, they said we inherited a debt profile of 138 billion. But that's at the end of last year that we reduced it to 66 billion. We've not borrowed one time.
So how did you clear it? How did you not borrow?
Trade secrets. You need,
no,
you want to,
tell us about it.
No, you have to consult me and pay me some money for me to tell you.
Should I turn off the camera?
No, you pay me first. Okay, so... But they say about money, let me tell you.
The opposition keeps saying, you know, you are borrowing, that it's a...
And then they come with the facts now, borrowing. Who did I borrow from them? If I borrowed from a bank, it will be clear. DMO will tell you.
But I will like,
okay, so let me also...
figures of the airport.
Let me also go back.
Yes.
And let you know that by the time we looked at the books and the numbers, we found that it was actually 192 billion that my predecessor handed over to me as debt.
How much did it leave for you in the coffers? How much did it leave as money on ground for you to run?
So if you have money in the coffers, you wouldn't be owing. So we had netted. We had netted off. No, if you net off what is left in the coffers, we had a debt profile of 192 billion.
So he left nothing?
Absolutely nothing.
He left nothing in the coffers?
Nothing. So when you say, you know, you need to understand, I can leave 100 naira in one account, and I'm owing 100 naira in another account. No, listen, that's how it makes sense.
Yeah.
Because when you say, how much did he leave? You are owing money, and you are leaving money. Does it make sense?
It doesn't.
Okay, so what you do is you take the total assets and remove your liabilities, and you know what the net is. And I'm saying the net he left for us was 192 billion. So if you...
more than what the DMO quoted.
Yes, because DMO didn't include pension areas, which we cleared off. They didn't include salary areas, which we also paid. We didn't include all the parastatals that were being owed, including Obone Polytechnic and then the medical personnel. So those we have taken care of. And today, I can tell you the state is running very, very well. Don't bother yourself about where I'm going to find the money, because that's my own area. Pension areas, some of them we're talking of numbers of 45 to 56 months. People were not paid. So we sat down with the pensioners and we said, okay, you are being owed this much. We need to take them out. So the leadership of pensioners sat down with us for a very long period of time, and we agreed. And by Easter last year, we paid a total of about 10 billion to pensioners to clear all the arrears. So it was like you are going to pay in full and final settlement. Somebody's been owing you for 56 months. No chance that you may get it. But I said, I didn't need it. I need this money in your hands. So if you were here, or if you watched, you found that the pensioners organized a Thanksgiving service. A lot of them were very happy. The specialist hospital was not abandoned. In fact, it's actually working. What we did was to convert it to a general hospital, because it's in Abia. You have the Abia State University Teaching Hospital, which in itself functions as a specialist hospital, also in Abia. So you don't need to set up another specialist hospital in Abia. So what happened before my time is that the Abia State University Teaching Hospital lost accreditation in 2021. And the reason for that was that my predecessors abandoned the university. The Medical and Dental Council of Nigeria came back in 2022 and reaffirmed the loss of accreditation. So when we came up in 2023, I gave my people 6 months to fix that teaching hospital, get the necessary personnel, and ensure that the accreditation was restored. To the glory of God, in December 2023, in fact, it was dramatic when the registrar of the Medical and Dental Council of Nigeria came here. He said by the time he got to the teaching hospital, he was almost missing his way. And he thought the driver was taking him somewhere else. And so the accreditation was restored in 2023. So everything that you require in the teaching hospital is there right now. So we felt that instead of maintaining, because that hospital was Abia General Hospital that was converted to
specialist hospital.
The specialist hospital. We thought it was not necessary. With the Abia State University Teaching Hospital, just a few poles from it. So it wasn't a good decision in our judgment. So the general hospital is working very, very well, just like the other 21 general hospitals. But a lot of them are in different states of dilapidation. So we have taken about 7 of them in the first instance, fixing them, retrofitting them. By the time we are done with that, we will take another 7, and then the final 7. Having said that, we also do have a general hospital in Amachara, Omuahia, that we actually want to function with the diagnostic center as a specialist hospital. And of course, there is one in Omonato, in Bende. What's the idea? The idea is to have specialist hospitals in every senatorial zone of the state. So you have the one in Amachara covering the central, you have the one in Bende covering the north, and of course you have the Abia State University Teaching Hospital in Abia covering the Abia senatorial zone, the Abia South senatorial zone. So that's what we have done with that. So it's not any abandonment of any sort.